YouTubers, Brian Proctor here with another video, and this is going to be the, what is this thing called? Action pose position of the week, number 14, if I'm not mistaken, number 14, and this is the final product. This is my Clash position, because in any book, you're always going to have heroes clashing. So this is the final drawing, and let's get right to the start of the drawing. All right, so this one I would call a clash position, clash, C-L-A-S-H, when you have your two heroes about to come together to clash, more or less. So let's work on this, and I'm gonna try to be real loose with this, because anytime I get trying to tight to do a perfect drawing, it comes out tight, stiff. So let's do this. Now the first thing I wanna do is just throw the bodies in there so that they can fit in the page. So let's just say I kind of have it in mind of what I want to do, so I just want to make sure it fits. And the one thing you will notice is that the chests are going to be turned together, and I think I might be going off the page already. I might make it smaller or bring them closer. Whereas this is going to be the front of the body, and this is going to be the front of the body with the head here. So the chests are kind of both turned to each other, and realistically, you would never punch this way. You would never have a clash coming out this way. You would have one's back turned and one's front, because that's where the power would come from. But when you're doing a comic book, you want to show your hero's face and you want to show their chest. Let's say if this was Superman, you wanted to show his logo, and the same way if this was Batman, you want to show his logo as well. So you'd have the chest kind of facing each other. So that's just, but it's just a comic thing. So let's just see if I'm gonna actually go off the page. I might, but as I say, I'll shrink it if need be. But that's just one of the things, rough things I want to say, that you have to have the chest. You don't have to, but you want the readers to be able to see and distinguish your character, your character's costume, the whole 9 yards. So you have that where they're facing one another. So with that said, hopefully it won't go off the page. I don't want their feet to go off the page. So this is kind of more of a running, not so much of a flying. You can have flying, running, jumping clashes. It just determines how you put the feet. Now I can lean this guy over more to give him more of a rush coming in, and this guy too. But I don't want the hands actually touching the face. So I want the hands just like right before the face so that you can see that these guys are about to connect to one another. So let's start using this. So gnats. Let's do this. So we've got this chest here. It's gonna go down here. Leg's gonna come here. And as I say, I wanna keep it really loose, really rough at the beginning to see what I have. Bend that knee, put the foot there. Bend that knee, and hopefully you guys can see it. This foot is going to get really close to the edge. And I should actually do this in pencil, but so we got the shoulder here. The arm comes up about right here, and straight punch almost right about there. So the other arm is going to come here, almost straight down and up, close to the face. All right. Neck, and the head will probably be a profile because they're going to be looking at each other. So you wouldn't have it to where it looks, where you'd see him like this, because then they're looking to you. You're about to hit him in the chin, and he would be hitting him in the chin as well, on the side of the face, should I say. So you want to stay with the profile. So let's see if I can get this other guy in and have him right without falling out and without having to take away from the hand or the arm, because I want the hands fairly close to the face without being all up in the face. So he's gonna be behind his hand. It's gonna come to the shoulder. So right away I'm gonna have to pull this back, and it's gonna be off balance. Yeah, off balance, off balance. So the other arm, the shoulder's here, and then you're gonna have the hand. Let's put the hand here. He's going to be coming down, so we got this hand here, and the other arm is going to kind of be behind it. So he's not going to be twisted as much. So this is going to be him here. His rib cage here. Just enough for the stomach. Sometimes I just make the ball, and after the ball I do the whatever this is. I'm naming anatomy parts again, and every time I try to do that, I just lose it. I lose it. So he's kind of short right off the bat. Bring him down some more. So I want to keep these guys kind of the same size. Now we'll switch to the blue. And I don't want the head too high. Drop this down a little more if I need be, And then the waist. Every bit that I drop it down takes me closer to the edge of the paper. And I don't want that. So it looks like I'm good so far, but I still may have to make changes. So if I put his foot out, it would go off, but I'm not going to put his foot out. I'll put it down. Like so, almost like he's running. The other foot is going to come out that way, and then bend the knee. Maybe I'll bring it up more. I want the foot to be about right here. So, without moving my paper, bring that up. And I have to look at that later. I have to walk away from this because that looks a little short. And since I started in blue, this cat in blue, I'll continue him in blue. But I don't know if you can see this blue because this is bad lighting. We'll see. We'll see. So we have this. The arm is going to come up here. The other arm is going to be bent, so that's a saving grace there. And I just saw that gnat. It's gnat season. Gnats disturb me because anytime I start drawing, they want to fly around me because my window's right next to me. So they want to come to the light. I don't want to get any closer to the face than that with this guy. So we have this fist. I'll turn it this way. And then that. So his shoulder is going to come here. And you'll see some arm right there. I'll get to the lats. This is where I start sculpting them. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing that this guy, is this my pencil that I use? His head is a little small, which means he's going to probably be taller if I lift the head up. But let's go for that for now. Let's do this guy. That's very light. So let's do this. Shoulder connected to the collarbone. Delts connected to the collarbone. Chest. This is your action line, your position line. Chest. Chest comes up here. Arm there. Small latch. So I want this is going to come straight there. So, and this guy's dropping down too. And so I pause for a second so that I can see what I'm doing as far as this guy being tall or short. Too long, shall I say. And this hand is in, so yeah, so. And that just got a little closer to his face as well. So right off the bat, this guy's a little bigger. Well, his head is. I can shrink his head later. Keep the hand right here. And I said I was going to do a video on kind of like doing shorthands for drawing, shorthand for drawing hand, yeah. The shapes I use to draw hands, AKA, so if I were drawing a fist, it would be like this, like that, this, your thumb, and then your palm. And this is just using some shapes. It's a quick fist using basic small shapes. This is the same way I did this, a little square here, rectangle here, and then that, and you just put your fingers in later, and it's really quick to do hands that way. And I said I was going to do a video on that later, but these other ideas came into my head, so I want to get these out first. And then I said that I would draw one for a subscriber. Asked him to do one with folded arms, where your arms are folded. And I said I was going to do that a while ago, and I thought about it, and I kind of forgot about it. And so a subscriber, actually 2 subscribers, asked to do that. So that's probably going to be the next video where I do one with the arms folded, because superheroes always have that pose where their arms are folded. Let's just get through this first without any really bad mess ups. And the shapes I'll use for these quick hands are what I want to do in the hand video, because I know a lot of people still have trouble with hands, and I'm not gonna lie, I have trouble with hands too. So a lot of people send in comments is like, wow, you're good, and you know, thank you, but you know, I will get better. The more I draw, the better I get. The more you draw, the better you get. If I had a job doing comics like some of the great comic book artists, I'd be a lot better, because these guys spend 8, 12, 16 hours just drawing anatomy and other things, and I was not fortunate enough to be able to have a job doing comics. You know, I did on my own, and then, you know, life kind of came around and wanted to get in the way, but I kept on drawing. So what little bit of knowledge I acquired, I am showing you guys. So now, to me, somehow it's looking a little tight, and I'm forgetting what leg is what, and I think that's the problem with this one. This leg comes down. This is the bent leg. And as I say in videos, once you draw and you get to the point where, for me, something doesn't look right, I don't really completely understand it, as in I see something that's strange, but I don't know what it is that looks strange. That's when you walk away. Me, subconsciously, I know what it is, but consciously, I don't know what I'm looking at. That's not good. So I walk away, and then I come back later, and then I realize, oh, this is off or that's off, because you're looking at it from a fresh, new perspective. So I recommend that to anybody that's drawing. Instead of completing your drawing and saying, yeah, it's finished, walk away for a while and then come back and you see what you have. Or turn your paper upside down, or look at it in the mirror, and then you'll have a different view of it altogether. It's just like, as a good bad example is, if you go into a restaurant, you smell the food. You go into a restaurant, you say, oh man, this smells good. But about 10 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes into that restaurant, you don't smell that food anymore. It's just, you just don't smell it. I guess it's all into you. So if you're kind of constantly looking at this paper or your drawing, after a while, you just don't see the mistakes. So you have to walk away. Same way, if you walked out of the restaurant for about 10 minutes and went back in, you would smell the food that's cooking. So come back 10 minutes later, you'll see the drawing, the mistakes in the drawing. Because the foot could be too long, or the leg could be too long, the foot could be too big. There's a number of things. So, as I say, subconsciously, I'll see something was wrong like that. I didn't see that. I was working on the wrong leg, and then it hit me. So this is the bent leg. So if I remove some of these extra lines, you'll see what I'm saying. So from this standpoint, that looks pretty good. This guy, if I leaned him forward a little bit more, it would give him a little more power. But if I lean him forward more, the leg is going to go off. So I'm going to leave it at that. I just want to show you guys this drawing and give you as many pointers as I can in doing it. So his chest is here. Need some shoulder, just a tad bit shoulder. And then this. Shoulders here, and this shoulder's up. And you're seeing all of this side here. So, and this is the long leg, comes down, the crotch here, the hip, waist, buttocks comes here, and then your lats up, and I think you might get a little bit here, a little bit lat under there. Now this arm, to me, is probably going to be short, but it's bent going back. But if I bring this arm in front of it, it'll give it that bent look. Okay, let's see. I've got a whole lot of lines. Usually I don't have this many lines in my drawing. You see this little piece of the leg right here, and I can stretch it out a little bit more, or pull it out some more so that I can have the foot where I want the foot. Let me bring that leg out to make it a little fatter. Knee, and then I will bring that leg straight. So this is going to come out, and it's going to tuck under there because your calf is going to push up against it. So I have my foot there. Instead of having the foot behind the leg, ankle right there. There's my foot. And then this one, I'll just have like a push off. Push off meaning bend the foot to where it's on the ground. So this guy, he doesn't really have much of a push off. He's on his toe. So if I did the ground here, they could be equal, but that's a crooked line. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see in the inking. This guy's still a little more bigger than him, and it's not so. It could be the twist because he's twisted a little bit more, but I think overall the head also has something to do with it. So if I make this head bigger, maybe that neck a little bigger, I can kind of balance them out as far as size-wise. As I say, I want them to be the same size. It's not going to be Hulk beating up on Wolverine. So this neck is off. That hand could be pulled back a little bit more, but I'm going to stay with it for now until I walk away and then come back later. So this is going to be, that ab is going to be here. Make this, bring this out a little bit more, give him a little more waist, give him a little more of the buttocks, to give him more size. Make that arm a little bigger. Over the top shoulder. I might have to do something about that shoulder because it might be in too close. And I'm running out of color options, H2. And this is another H2. I really don't have any darker pencils. Yes, I do. So your collarbone is going to come here, chest, come out here. So your shoulder is going to come back a little bit more. So this is where the bicep is going to be. And then it runs into this part of the arm, your elbow, straight. And then you have that. And then the fist is turned. Bring the fist out a little bit more. Like so. Work on the abs, and at that point, I think you have your love handles here or your obliques. Abs, crotch. This piece comes here, this down, and your leg. Now the hard part is once you start being more professional, I guess I could say, is really knowing the shapes. Like you can do this in a cylinder, but when you start to get more professional, you'll really have to learn the actual shapes, the little, I can't think of the word right now, that the shape that it takes. Like the elbow, it narrows in for the elbow, and then you have that line for the elbow that comes in, but it won't go back straight. It kind of twists to make the muscles fit, and that's that little, I don't want nuance. Nuance keeps coming out of my head, but it's not nuances. It's, I don't know, it might be that word. But once you get this and you can do the little minor shapes that make something look more realistic, like if you do the bicep here, there's a small area here where the two arms connect. The bicep will come under here, and then I believe there's like a V here for the tricep. It's lower here, and it comes up to the elbow. This tucks in, and then that tucks in like that. And little things like that, that differs from making a I don't want to say amateur than a realistic one, but it does really. And then the muscles separate somewhere in here. You know, I have to stop and really think about it. But those are little things that makes a more professional drawing. And then might be a little gap right here under the chest. Chest comes in, and there's a little divot between the what is this? The delt. And this little piece comes here, and your arm tucks up under there, and you have your underarm, which is like in there somewhere, and then you have your lats, which start to begin. What is it, like cross down somewhere like this? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying about being professionalism. and then your ribs, that little rib cage comes like that, and then your lats are somewhere behind. It starts behind your rib cage. But little things like that, little things like that. I'm not that much of a professionalism. I can do it, but a lot of things I'd have to look up, shall we say, research or double check before I actually ink it and say, okay, that's not right. Let me do this right, because I think the lats curve around under the arm like that. But it's the little things. But the more I teach, the more I force myself to learn, because I don't want to just throw anything up there and then somebody's like, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong. So I'll stop and I'll go and I'll look something up to make sure that that's right, which is something you should always do. Always have reference books. I say that in a lot of videos. Reference is the key. Reference books, bodybuilding magazines, look up online, just body, especially if you're doing like a position, like a jumping position or something like that. Google it and then look at the way they jump, or the way that the legs are, or how they hold their arms up when they jump over something. So let's keep on this. I could probably bring this chest down a little bit more, but I'll do all this in the inking. So for right now, I think I'm gonna walk away and then come back later and see what I have and see if anything is crazy off, and then go for that. And these leg muscles are you have that one, and see things like that. I never really mastered the leg muscles, because you always have like shorts on, like Batman have the shorts on, and you know, the legs were never really the focal point of a drawing for a superhero. It's always like this part up here, the fist, the face, the chest, the abs, and usually they'll stop it right here at the waist, because the feet are the feet, they're doing whatever. So that's just one thing that you have to, well, one thing I have to master is doing legs and the leg muscles. I can do the basic lines, but you know, like inner thighs, you know, what does the muscle for the inner thigh look like? So little things like that. So, all right, adjust his head a little bit, and I'm gonna walk away and then come back and see what I'm throwing at you guys. The shoulder muscles here, neck, and I said I'm gonna walk away, but I'm still seeing things that need to be adjusted. Neck comes down, you have the shadow. So yeah, well, let's just turn it upside down and see what I see. Nothing that really stands out, and there's a mirror in front of me, so I'm gonna look at it in the mirror. Yeah. This guy's hand, right off the bat, it's a little weak, so let's put this hand up here. I'm gonna have to work with that. I said that's another one of my weaknesses, is where to put the hands. And since he's got his hand up, I want his hand to be more straight on. And I used to tell a lot of my students, don't be afraid to erase. Do not be afraid to erase, because when you erase something, you're noticing that it's not right, so you're not afraid to correct it. So that's his delt. Put the fist here. So put the arm here. And bicep here. That's still, to me, just a bit on the weak side. I don't want to lift it up any higher. Let's try. I might have to do like I did in the other one and just speed it up as I correct it. So you have the chest, the delts, your lats, and the whole thing is, where do you want to put the fists? Where do you want to put the fists? I am thinking like about right here, which is where it was before. So we draw this shape here, this little rectangle box, and then this is your baby finger, and then it's going to be your wrist, and this is going to be basically straight across like that. That looks good, but can I get away with the arm being this far back? You might see some bottom because of that, because it's so high. You might see the bottom of the thing, and the muscle goes something like this, like that. Check it in the mirror. Let me ponder on this one. Let me just take it off, ponder on it, and I'll come back in a minute, because this is just a small thing. I don't want you guys to sit idly while I'm adjusting the arm. So I'll pause this thing now, ponder on it, come back and draw it. So I think this is going to be it for this drawing. As I look at it, I say to myself, could it be better? Yes, any drawing could be better. I could lean this guy a little more forward, probably pull him apart a little bit or draw him closer. But yes, any drawing could be better, but you do it until you're satisfied with it and then move on. Don't ever be stuck on something so much that you can't move on to the next. So the more you draw, the better you'll get. So as I said, this is going to be it for this video. So keep an eye out for the next video. And as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, what else do I need to do? But I can't think of anything. So I'll just call this one a day. And I will see you guys in the next video.